Proportions. There are two types of proportions that you need to know for the SAT. Direct proportion and indirect or inverse proportion. Direct proportion is the one that shows up the most. It's your typical standard proportion. So you would use the formula x sub 1 over y sub 1 equals x sub 2 over y sub 2, or the first x they give you over the first y equals the second x over the second y. What that essentially stands for is that when x increases, y increases at the very same rate. So let's try a few to see how it works. The amount of ice that an ice maker can produce varies directly. When you see the words varies directly, you know you're setting up a direct proportion, so use that formula. If you don't see the words varies directly, chances are you're setting up a direct proportion there too. So don't expect it, but sometimes they'll make it easier on you and they'll give it to you. The amount of ice that an ice maker can produce varies directly with the amount of time for which the machine runs. If the ice maker makes 30 pounds of ice in 45 minutes, then how many pounds of ice can the machine make in 1 hour? Do you hear the repetition of pounds, minutes, pounds, hour? When you hear that repetition, you know it's a proportion. So first, set up your values. So you have pounds of ice over minutes equals pounds of ice over minutes, and you have to keep it consistent. You have to keep the pounds of ice on top and keep the minutes on bottom. You could, of course, flip-flop those. If you have the minutes on top, make it consistent and always keep the minutes on top and always keep the pounds of ice on the bottom. So 30 pounds of ice for every 45 minutes, so we put 30 over 45, equals how many pounds of ice? I don't know, so make that x, over, now you can't put 1 because that stands for an hour. Minutes, hours, that's not the same. So you have to convert an hour to minutes. So it would be x over 60. From there you can cross multiply it. You get 45x equals 1800. Divide both sides by 45 and you get 40 pounds of ice in 1 hour.